Alrighty, g'day YouTube. So I just finished FTP. I call it a failed FTP simply because my trusty little Garmin has decided to play silly beggars on me. It is I finished the FTP about half hour ago. For the last half hour, it's just been doing this. The screen has frozen. It's just keeps saying saving ride, saving ride, saving ride. Try plugging it into the computer and it won't have it. I've tried Bluetoothing it to my phone. Still won't have it. So I've tried everything. You can push the screen, it just won't do a thing. So I'm just going to leave it and hopefully sort out. I'll just leave it plugged into the computer and it may just upload the ride to Strava later on, or the training session. Now, did a 10-minute warm up and then a 20-minute FTP. Now, when I hit the lap time to do the start of the FTP test, that all went fine. When I hit it to turn it off, it wouldn't turn off. So then I just thought, right, I'll save the ride, and ever since then it's just been doing that. So fingers crossed it will come up. But anyway, look, I say it wasn't the best of felt on the indoor trainer, which it wasn't. I was all right, I was doing well. I was pushing up around that 300 watt mark. So I would max out, I think I peaked at about 340 watts, and then I dropped down to about 260, 270, and then back up to 240. So I was around about that 300 watt mark for the entire time. My heart rate was around about the 168, 170, something like that. So I was pushing it. I can tell you, my heart rate, actually, my cardio was doing fine. I felt good cardio-wise. It was my legs that were giving way. I've got to tell you, my legs were like jelly when I got off that bike. They were like jelly, I must admit. Turned to mush on me. But what can you do? Nothing you can do about it. I'm having a good bit of Sustagen Sports now. Get that down, mate. Put some nutrients back in. Off to paint a mate's ceiling now. So I've got a few hours of painting. Just done some stretches and stuff as well at the end of it. And that was it really. But I think what I'll have to do is leave my FTP, unless this data comes up, unless I can get this to run, I'll just leave it plugged into the computer. I'll have to leave my FTP at its current setting, which is 285 is what I've put it in at. And I've worked that out from previous indoor trainer sessions, not rides, just indoor trainer sessions on the average. So that's what it's going to have to be, stay at. And then what I'll do is I'm doing another 4-week training block, which will start tomorrow. So we'll do 3 weeks pushing it again, and then we'll have another week's recovery. Like this last week for me has been a recovery week. That's why I did the FTP today, because it was at the end of the recovery week, and legs recovered and all the rest of it. So I will then do 3 weeks of training and then another recovery week, and then I'll do the FTP again in another month's time. So see what happens. Now I do notice as well, I don't know what anyone else thinks of this, put some comments down below, but the higher the watts I get to push, the slower I feel the improvements are. So jumping from say 270 watts up to that 280 watt mark, I've found that has taken a longer period of time to move that 10 watts than what it did when I very first started over a year ago doing my FTP tests, you know, when I was at 180 watts. And then pushing up from 180 watts up to about 250 watts, I felt that movement was fairly quick and rapid. I don't know, maybe it's got something to do with you get stronger quicker at that lower end, and then when you start to come up to those harder numbers to push your maximums, maybe it just gets harder. So the improvements seem like they're slower, they take longer. So anyway, that's what I find, and I think even if my FTP now is, say it was 285, if this came in at say 289, 290, that wouldn't surprise me at all, because I think the increments are going to be slower the higher the numbers I go. So you know, that's just it. That's just how it is, I think. But anyway, my target is 300 watts. That's what I eventually want to get to, and we shall see. So I'm going to do finish this recovery week, start my training sessions again next week, which will start tomorrow, and that is it. So all good. So this FTP, bit of a fail, only because my Garmin let me down. I did an update on it, as I said earlier, did an update on there, and this is what happens. So I shouldn't have updated the damn thing. I should have just left it and done the FTP test, then updated it. But maybe I'll have to just wipe it and start again. I've had to do that before. Sometimes when I've done updates on the Garmin, it wipes all your data, and you have to go back into Garmin Connect and upload it all again. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to do that. I'm not sure. But anyway, that is about it. Felt pretty good on there, pushing when I was up around that 300 watt mark. Felt pretty good. No dramas or anything. So definitely the recovery week has helped for sure. Definitely helped for sure. If this doesn't work, this Garmin, if it doesn't bring this up, I'm going to do the FTP test again probably Tuesday next week. So we'll see what it comes in at, but fingers crossed. I'll leave it plugged into the computer, and hopefully it will at some time today just upload to Strava by some miracle. But anyway, that is it for now. Got any questions or comments, you can post them down below.